여러분 안녕하세요. 지니 선생님입니다. Today, we are going to look at several expressions that we're going to use quite often in daily conversation. What must you bring to school? Yes, you must bring stationery to school every day. What do you need to do to be a successful student? There are many things that you need to do as a student, like coming to school on time, doing homework, listening to teachers, organizing yourself better, and so on. So before we study the expression, let's take a look at a dialogue between friends happening in class.
폴린, 나한테 종이 한 장만 빌려줄 수 있어?
또? 너 오늘 또 학교에 종이 안 가져왔어? 학교에는 학용품을 가지고 와야 해.
알아. 근데 자꾸만 잊어버려. 오늘만 좀 빌려줘.
나는 매일 빌려줄 수 있어. 아니, 그냥 줄 수 있어. 그런데 데이빗을 위해 하는 말이야.
고마워, 폴린. 그런데 오늘 오후에 숙제 같이 해도 될까?
그럼 한국어는 내가 나보다 훨씬 잘하니까 내가 나를 도와줘야 해.
당연하지. 그럼 이따 도서관에 몇 시에 만날까?
3시 어때?
좋아.
How much did you understand? I know you may not understand it at all, but by the end of this lesson, you should be able to understand it. Having said that, you need to replay this dialogue several times after this lesson. Going back to our discussion before the dialogue, when you need to do something or when you must do something, what can you say in Korean when something should be done? That expression is something 아야, 어야, 해야 하다. As you see in this expression, you need to conjugate the verb depending on the vowel of the last letter of the verb stem, right? So let's take a look at the following sentences. You need to come to school on time. You need to eat healthy food. You need to do your homework. Those sentences will be 학교에 정각에 와야 해요. 오다 plus 아야 해요 becomes 와야 해요. 건강한 음식을 먹어야 해요. 먹다 plus 어야 해요 becomes 먹어야 해요. 숙제를 해야 해요. 하다 plus 해야 해요 becomes 해야 해요. Then, how can you say, you need to speak in Korean? You will say, 한국어로 말해야 해요. In the dialogue, Pauline says to Michael, 학교에 학용품을 가져와야 해. 가져오다 is to bring. Therefore, 가져오 and 아야 하다 should be added together and it becomes 가져와야 해. In the dialogue, Michael also asks Pauline to help him in the afternoon saying, 나를 도와주어야 해. That is, 도와주다 plus 어야 하다 becoming 도와주어야 해. Next expression that we're going to study is the one we can use when we ask for permission or when a speaker can give permission. That is, 아도, 어도, 해도 되다. Compare the pattern that we just studied. Very similar, right? 아야, 어야, 해야 하다. 아도, 어도, 해도 되다. 아야, 어야, 해야 하다 is an expression to be used to say need to or must. But 아도, 어도, 해도 되다 is to ask for permission or to grant permission. Take a look at this sentence. 오늘 오후에 숙제 같이 해도 될까? This is a sentence where Michael says to Pauline, "Can we study together this afternoon?" Michael is asking for Pauline's permission to study together. Take a look at the following examples. Can I go now? Verb stem 가다 plus 아도 되다 becomes 가도 되다. Therefore, 지금 가도 되어요? Can I eat more? Verb stem 먹다 plus 어도 되다 becomes 먹어도 되다. Therefore, 더 먹어도 되어요? Can I stop now? Verb stem 그만하다 plus 해도 되다 becomes 그만해도 되다. Therefore, 지금 그만해도 되어요? Also, notice that 되어요 can be contracted to 돼요. And in spoken language, contraction is more common. The last expression is something 의리일 수 있다, 없다. As we saw in the lesson of negation, 있다 and 없다 are antonyms. Something 의리일 수 있다 is used to say can or possibility. And something 의리일 수 없다 is used to say can't or impossibility. Let me ask you something. Can you swim? Can you play the piano? Can you eat spicy food? These sentences can be used with something 의리일 수 있다. Notice that we have 의리일. That means the conjugation of a verb depends on having or not having a final consonant on the last letter of the verb stem. It has nothing to do with vowels or with 하다 verbs. To swim, 수영을 하다 plus 리을 수 있다. Therefore, 수영을 할 수 있어요. To play the piano, 피아노를 치다 plus 리을 수 있다. Therefore, 피아노를 칠 수 있어요. To eat spicy food, 매운 음식을 먹다 plus 을 수 있다. Therefore, 매운 음식을 먹을 수 있어요. And if you cannot do the above, the sentences will be 수영을 할 수 없어요. 피아노를 칠 수 없어요. 매운 음식을 먹을 수 없어요. Now, let me ask you a question. Please answer in Korean. 한국말 할 수 있어요? I'm sure you said, 네, 한국말 할 수 있어요. So, in this chapter's lesson, we learned 3 expressions. Number 1, something 아야, 어야, 해야 하다 is used to mention need to or must. Number 2, something 아도, 어도, 해도 되다 is used to ask for permission or grant permission. Number 3, something 의리일 수 있다, 없다 is used to say can or cannot. 다음 시간에 만나요.